Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing. Today we're reviewing the new Douglas DXF. Now if you haven't heard about Douglas Outdoors, you should probably look them up. Douglas was founded by Jim Murphy, who's a longtime industry veteran. He founded some of the great value rod companies like Redington and Albright, and most recently was in charge of Hardy when they built some of the great rods like the Gray's XF2 and the Hardy Zenith. But we're not talking about those rods. So let's dive into this DXF and see what makes it tick. One thing that makes this DXF such an interesting rod to review is the lack of really great rods in the $300 price range. Since the discontinuation of the Gray's XF2 and the Winston Passport, we've really been looking for a rod to love that everyone can afford. And so we're hoping that this is it. And it's got a great start. The DXF weighs in at about 3 ounces, making it nice and light. It's also billed as a high-performance, fast-action rod. But let's start with the components. First, it's built with a double up-locking reel seat and a nice burled wood insert. Of course, we're casting this rod today on our favorite Lamson Lightspeed paired with SA GPX. Next, we've got some nice cork paired with a reverse half-wells grip, pretty much the standard on most trout rods these days, certainly in that 9-foot 5-weight class. Then we've got a pretty nice blank. It's sort of a teal green and hard chrome stripping and snake guides. And of course, the Douglas does come with alignment dots, which do save you that time on the water. But what's really important is how it casts. So let's get to it. So we've got the DXF at our first distance, which is 30 feet. And 30 feet is going to be kind of the closest you'll ever really want to get to a trout. And I'm happy to report that the DXF is pretty good at this distance. It's got a nice soft tip and kind of a more progressive action. And lets you do a pretty good job. But it's still a pretty fast rod, so you don't get a ton of feedback. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 at 30 feet. So I picked up the DXF at 45 feet. First cast, right on the money. Second cast, right on the money. It's really an excellent rod, and particularly an excellent value price rod if you're looking for a fast action 9-foot 5-weight in the $300 price range. I'm going to give this rod a 9 out of 10 at 45 feet. Bringing the DXF back to our final trout distance at 60 feet, I gotta say, casting this rod really reminds me of the Hardy Zenith. And that's a really nice compliment. The Zenith being one of the best rods at any distance, and particularly at the longer ones. With that said, however, it is not as accurate as the Zenith was. But it's not bad. It generates enough line speed, and if you're willing to make that double haul, you'll definitely get it there and get the fly to its target at 60 feet. I'm going to give the DXF an 8.5 out of 10 at 60 feet. So after casting the DXF, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. It's a decent rod at 30 feet, it's a great rod at 45 feet, and it's pretty good, though lacking a little bit of accuracy at 60 feet. It's got a great feel and a great taper, clearly very similar to the later designs of Hardy, and that really means that we like it a lot. On the other hand though, does the DXF really compete with an $800 rod? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason somebody who's looking at a Zenith or the new Zephyrus would want to grab this rod instead. On the other hand, you can get 2 DXFs for the price of a Zenith. What that's worth is going to be up to you. We're also really excited to check out the new Douglas Sky, which we had a chance to cast at iCast, and that turned out to be a really phenomenal rod at a slightly higher price point. So there's a lot of exciting things coming from Douglas this year, and it's definitely all started with this DXF. The DXF is available for $349 and ships for free from tridentflyfishing.com. If you got questions about this rod, shoot us an email at support@tridentflyfishing.com or give us a call at 888-413-5211. I'm Ben, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.